Many shades of pink and black health. Many shades of pink and black health, where good health equals long life. Welcome to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health radio program on KBLKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I'm your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Flalo. And today we have the pleasure of having two wonderful guests here. Tanya Jenkins, designer and owner of Jenkins Aquanette Macon, stylist and owner of Cotton Candy and Company. And today the topic is Coleman San Diego Circle of Promise, Many Shades of Pink fashion show, and the Breast Health Luncheon. So welcome, ladies.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
We are so excited to have you. So we're going to just go ahead and dive right in. And, each of you guys can just tell us about yourself and about your family.
Well, as she said, I'm Aquanette. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. My father was in the military, so technically I was born in Virginia. Can't tell you guys anything about Virginia. Left there at 6 months old. Lived in Chicago all the way till I was 25 years old. Then I moved to San Diego, California. And I come from a super, super amazing family.
Okay, do you have any children?
I do. I have 2 children. I'm a new grandmother. Shout out to my daughters, Jamari and Jasmine Gaston, and to my heartbeat Jador. Yes, so I do. Yeah.
And I think the only other question I have before we go to Tanya is you have a family, siblings. How many siblings in your family?
Well, technically I had 8 siblings. Okay. 5 brothers and, 6 brothers, 2 sisters. Some of them have preceded us in death. Mm-hmm. So technically now I do have 2 sisters, 4 brothers.
Okay.
Don't kill me. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they're all back in Chicago. Some's in New York. Some is in Texas. So they all spread it out. So yeah.
All right. Thank you. And Miss Tanya?
Yes.
What about you?
Well, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I moved out here about 20 years ago. My mom shipped me out here. She came out here first, and she got married and decided to bring me back to California. My mom, there's like about 8 in her family. She's the only sibling that decided to get away from Cleveland.
Oh,
so it's just
out of the whole family?
Out of the whole family.
Wow. Oh, wow. That is. Well, me being from the Midwest, I have my Midwest homegirl. Both of them.
So do you have siblings?
My sister.
One sister.
I do have others, but I haven't met them yet.
Okay. And do you have a family of your own?
Yes, I do. I have 2 boys, Keyshawn and Talon.
Okay, so 2 girls and 2 boys.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
No grandchildren.
So you have a boy and a girl, right?
No, I have 2 daughters.
You have 2
Jamari
daughters?
and Jasmine.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. And I don't know why. No, Tanya have the boy.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so question. When did you guys start to, Tanya, when did you start decide you want to become a designer? And the same thing with you, Candy. When did you decide you want to become a stylist?
Well, for me, I started Cotton Candy Co. back in 2006. Coming from Chicago, to be honest with you guys, it's just a lifestyle. We love to dress, Mm-hmm. I come from a family long line of dressers, my father's, mom. So, I always loved fashion, to be honest. So when I moved to California, I worked in a hospital here, in the cancer ward in hospital. And they used to always call me the fashion police. So all my coworkers would always want to get fashion tips from me. And then it was a friend like, you should come and do my closet. So it really was more like a hobby. And then it was a good friend of mine really invested with me. And, he passed away from cancer. But he invested in the business with me. And, so for me, I didn't go to a big fancy school. I did further my education by going to styling company. Shout out to Sean Melson down in Atlanta, Georgia. But it was just a lifestyle and it was a hobby for me. So I just took something that I consider a passion. Wasn't looking for money, anything like that. So it was a passion and I just kept with it, and I tell people the ultimate fashion attire is a smile. I love to see people smile because I come from so much sadness. So,
Okay. And you, Tanya?
It's pretty much the same thing with Candy, but mine was my family, the whole thing, fashion. All of my aunts are sewers, all of them. They do weddings, they design my grandfather's clothes, it's everything. So I grew up seeing that.
Okay.
And when I left California, I think I kind of missed it. Not California. When I left Cleveland, I think I kind of missed it because I wasn't around it as much. My mom, she kind of gave it up, and I didn't see it. So I started wanting to be a model, and then that's when I found out I was too short. So
I think that was the same thing with me. I started out, I was going to be a star. I was coming out to California because I was going to be a star. But found out I was just too short.
I still had the visuals. I used to walk around with scarves on my head because I had the long hair and swing it. But later on, I got into drawing, and about junior high, I was doing it in elementary. I had a best friend that knew how to draw Garfield a lot, so she used to teach me how to do Odie.
Okay.
So Odie was my signature drawer at the time. So, and then I stuck with the comic books. So I would do the Circus Family.
Mm-hmm.
I would draw them all the time. Kathy, I don't know if y'all remember the animated cartoon Kathy.
No,
Okay.
that.
And
Yeah.
Snoopy and all of them. So
Yeah, that's my favorite.
and then in high school, it was just the same thing. I was just like Candy. I had to have the new item. I had the privilege of going back to Cleveland in the summertime, so I would come back with the new stuff. And
Exactly.
I always had to, make sure my backpack was different, like it's shaped like an umbrella or a hat. So I had to look different.
So the thing of it is that what we had in the Midwest, the fashions we had in the Midwest, the West Coast was late.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
they were always behind. So technically, we always stood out. I stood out like a sore thumb because of my sense of fashion and style. And so I know you guys stood out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it sounds like both of you guys, the influence for fashion and design actually came from family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not any
Yes.
an extreme outside force.
No.
So do you guys both sketch and draw your designs, or you create them and have someone sketch them for you?
For me, like, to piggyback, I have a degree in business, totally different in fashion. So moving forward, my designs, I can sketch anything. Now, I'm not a drawer. Unlike her, I can't draw all the fabulous, but most of the time when I meet with designers, they see my vision and they bring it to life through the paper. So a lot of people have it misconstrued like, oh, do you cut, do you sew? I tell you, I'm not going to sew a button if it falls off you, okay? But I can style that button that falls off you. I might put it somewhere else, But, I just by what I do, like I said, I style. And most stylists work with major designers, So I like to work with up-and-coming designers, some that's already established, So to answer your question, my vision is so crazy. I put it down and I meet with people like her, that share that vision and add something and they just bring it all the way to life for me.
Yeah, so
You
they
know?
can
You,
actually do
Tanya?
they can actually do the sketching of what you have
My
in your
vision,
head, and as you
absolutely.
see it, you can say, no, I want this tweaked here and there.
Absolutely.
So together you collaborate.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Tanya?
I sketch out, and sometimes I don't. I freehand. I just go with the flow. And just like you say,
You see this?
what she has on is what Candy's vision was. She told me she wanted to look good for an event. So I told her I had an idea, and then that
Here you
go.
So do you actually create patterns too that you end up cutting from, or you just freestyle in the cutting also? Because I sew,
Freestyle,
so
no.
okay.
Freestyle.
So no two things are definitely not alike if you
Right.
don't create, I mean, even
Yeah.
paper patterns too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So then my question is, how do you create for us, are your designs loose enough where it's not one size? Because patterns are usually size
Yeah.
wise, and so you want to cut for someone if they're an 8, you want to cut that, but if it's a free flowing style, then you don't need a size pattern type of thing.
No, you don't. But
Yeah.
I usually some of the stuff, like the jacket that Wendy has on, sometimes I make it big enough to where it can fit a couple of sizes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is considered what is a medium.
Okay.
So this is a medium, but
A small medium.
it's
yeah.
small medium.
So
And
what
then
about a small? Because she would
she
get
had-
swallowed
she-
up in that small.
yeah,
medium.
well,
Yes.
Well, she had a small and she fit it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
and
she-
I fit both
Not
fits.
small
It
medium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well-
didn't make it an extra small.
was an extra small. Yeah.
I'm
So-
sorry,
extra
she
small,
looked like
small.
it was a big old sack on her. She
Yeah.
was swallowed up in
Yeah,
that.
it's an extra small,
Yeah,
small.
that's
yeah.
what I was saying. There needs
Yeah.
to be one size
Yeah.
down so
Yeah.
that the little people, the tiny
Yeah.
people, can
Well,
still.
I think that I thought it looked cute on her. It to me it fit her just right. It didn't look too
Yeah.
big, and it didn't swallow her. To me, it fit her just right. With me, it was a little snug, but I like that snug look. So
Mhm.
it still looked cute on me too.
She was the spokesmodel that
You must take it off.
Yeah, but yeah, it was, and so I've seen the different sizes that she does have, and then she has, the medium to large, and then the large to the extra large. So it
So like 3 sizes, so
Yeah.
that you somewhere in there, like a 0 to 6 can fit in that
Yeah.
Basically.
small.
Yeah, extra small.
Yeah, extra small, and then you have like a 8, 10, 12-ish in the medium or small medium, and then you can go on or something
Absolutely.
like that. So
Yeah.
you get an idea if you want to go and try on
Yes.
something where your normal size is. You want to know where you fit, and then of
Mhm.
course once you try it on, you can decide if you want something smaller or larger.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I also, I don't, outside of working with designers such as people like Tanya and the ones I've worked with in the past, I go to actual stores and pull, so this person may say, hey, I saw this dress at Neiman's, I'll go to Neiman's, I mean, it depends, if somebody wants something couture. I mean, a lot of people say, I don't want nothing that my girlfriend's going to get. So that's when I call people like Tanya. Hey, she don't want anything her girlfriend has. So,
right, and then they end up making these jackets. Okay,
Actually-
now I'm at,
Wendy
everybody
messed it
want
up.
to wear this jacket. Okay, so I'm
it's
gonna
sold
have,
out, guys. It's
Yeah.
sold out. Okay, it's
No
sold
more.
out.
Okay, it's limited. Okay, no more.
She's selfish. Look at that.
I
She
sure
don't want
am.
nobody else to have it.
I
She
want
should
to
make
my
one of a
God.
kind, or better yet, just have a different pattern of some sort.
And
so
that's
the
what
style.
they were. They were different. Like
Yeah.
she's wearing
I
one.
had
The
to,
one
yeah.
I wore is different.
Yeah.
So the one I sold to a couple of other clients, they were like splashed with other colors.
colors,
and
right.
They were actually shorter. So she made some longer,
Okay,
some
yeah.
shorter. So
I- I try to do that with all the designs I make because I don't like seeing women in the same thing.
I sure don't like to
Yeah.
be wearing nothing that now they gonna be
So
I
I,
can't.
don't want her to fire me, so I can't give
Yeah.
anybody else anything to put on Wendy.
Yeah,
So.
you put it on her, don't
Yeah,
make
she's
another
one
one.
of my
Yeah.
clients, so she didn't told me. I don't care.
It got to be in a different other shade.
Some and style too.
something like that, because we how we serious about our fashion,
Yes.
and we don't want anyone else to be I want to walk right. I want to walk in the room and own it.
and look unique.
And
Yeah.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, you cannot have this because it was made just for me.
Just for
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah.
That's
So
true, that's true.
no.
We'll make up for that, right?
We must make you feel good and special.
Yeah.
Right.
Unique.
Yeah. So I think the only one could have actually been a model is Sis here because she has the length and the height and the slimness.
That's
You ever
all right.
thought
I'm gonna stay
about-
in the background.
I know, but have you ever thought about
I
doing
did
any
modeling for about 15 minutes. And a what was it, Casual Corner or something like that? They used to
I
have
remember
fashion
that.
shows, and I would model for them.
Yeah, I
So
remember that.
yeah, But anyway, this is a good time to take a pause.
I know,
Now
because
that you're trying
we've
to
been
put me on
having.
the spot.
I know. I just really was thinking that maybe you could said you model a little bit.
That's okay. We can just style her
That's
for
right.
the event.
We'll
Let
do
her walk
something.
around.
We'll do something. So this is a good time to take a break. So you're listening to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health Radio program on KBLK Radio, and we're having such a wonderful conversation. I won't be back after the break, but I'll see you guys next week. So have fun.
All right. All right.
Oh my God, you guys.
I'm a breast cancer survivor.
We are honoring our heroes.
I'm here today because of Susan G. Coleman's free mammogram.
We are pledging to save lives.
We're passionate about bringing the services out to the community.
We are providing free mammograms. We are providing hope.
We are more than pink.
Made possible by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air.
She just left chemotherapy, and you know her porta calf was taken out. You know, so now I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna make her laugh first. Then I'll be like, "Girl, you know I'm skinny, right? But girl, I got this cute little outfit gonna fit you right." She's gonna be, girl, you know, because I've worked in cancer. You know, there's scars that are left. You know, I too have scars. There are scars that are left. So everyone have a flaw. I don't care what no one says. I don't really like the use flaw, but we all do have something that we just don't like about ourselves.
Right.
So for me to answer your question is, I always start with energy. Energy.
Okay,
I always come with my energy. I don't know how to be nobody else, so I'm gonna be Candy, and I can guarantee you again that smile thing. The ultimate fashion attire is a smile, so I have to make that person comfortable with me. I want to know her likes and dislikes, her no colors, her go colors, you know, and just reach her, you know, show her things, you know, show her different styles versus fashion. You know, me, I'm more into classic pieces than trendy pieces. Don't get me wrong, you know, if you want something trendy, I'll give you whatever you want. But I like to do classic things. And most survivors, you know, a lot of them, I like to push that envelope, you know, because they're my real heroes, you know.
Okay.
So.
And you, Miss Tanya?
I'm one of those type of people that's a good listener.
Okay.
I happen to just run into a lot of people that tell me, especially women, they tell me their stories.
Okay.
Even though the stories are a struggle and heartbreaking, I still love to hear that battle that you went through. Once you got that out, to me, it's just downhill, just up.
Right.
Getting the hair done, you getting your makeup done. Once they see the makeup, they start feeling themselves.
Okay.
I mean, we experienced that together at the last event.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So my question is, on that day, and our breast cancer survivors, how do you guys plan on making that day special for them? And you know, in what way will you guys make them feel special? I should say.
Honey, they gonna be fierce. Just fierce by itself, you know. Yeah, they've gotten over the real hump, you know, survivors, you know. Those are my heroes, you know. So I can't do nothing but bring out that fierce in them. It's gonna be fierce.
Okay, it's gonna be fierce.
Fierce.
Okay, so so another question. How difficult is it to design and style for this type of event? You know, what type of preparation do you guys, how do you go about to plan this type of event when you have survivors? Because this is different than any other fashion show.
Absolutely.
You know.
What Tanya and I like to do is, let's say we'll get a roster of all the survivors, you know, measurements. We try to get a full body shot. Don't have to be the cute picture, just a full body shot of that person. Get a little something about it, like, okay, is she allergic to peanuts? You know, little things. So what Tanya and I would do is, we'll go to our fashion style house. We sit down, we discuss each client, and we take in consideration of their age, you know, and not so much what's specific, like, oh, breast or colon, anything like that.
Yeah.
But we like to keep in mind, well, does she have a scar on the shoulder? So I don't want to put her in something to expose that. You know, I may want to put her in something cover up. Or talk to her, she may say, I'm going to put a fat, you know, she's crazy. So how do we go about? We discuss each and every client, because again, style is individual. What
Yes.
I put on Jane Doe, Sally Jane not going to have on. So everybody have their own unique style. So with the little bit that we do have, trust me, we read a lot into it.
Okay. All right. So what is the inspiration and passion behind your unique style and fashion?
Mine is my family. I'm mixing the East, and I'm mixing the West, and I'm mixing the South. I'm mixing
Okay,
it
I
all.
can barely hear you,
Oh.
sweetie.
Mine is my family. I'm mixing up all the different West Coast and the East Coast style together, and just the pretty much it's like a therapy for me.
So it's like therapy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm in the zone designing, like my kids are calling my name, I don't hear them. I won't answer phones. I'll hide in my house for
Okay.
weeks.
Okay.
Just designing.
All right. And you, Miss Candy?
Mine is just lifestyle, you know. Clothing
Okay.
is something you have. So mine is just because my brand itself is more just a lifestyle thing, you know. So my inspiration is always my children.
Okay.
Always.
Always.
But to be honest, God is my first inspiration.
Right.
So, you know, he gives it to me, and this is what I do, you know. And like I said, my children, they inspire me. You know, they give me ideas, you know, and they also motivate me. Because there's times when I just don't feel like my head is in the game. And they always consistently and constantly motivate their mom.
Well, that's good. Well, you know, children can always be, you know, our ray of sunshine and light when, you know, we're feeling down. So that's something that automatically make our hearts smile. So
but I would like to get a special shout out to a young lady in Philly. She's actually sponsoring some shirts for cancer. She has a brand called Kisses in Philly.
okay. And what is this? What is her name?
Her name is Tiffany, and she's on Instagram at Nai Amor. I think she's a Muslim, and that is her religion. She's amazing, but she is donating 25 shirts to us to style.
Okay, well, Tiffany, shout out to Tiffany from Philly. So you will, we will actually tag you to our video. So if you're on Facebook or Instagram, we will find you. So, and thank you for your donation to this worthy cause. Another question that I have, what makes you stand out from all the rest, designers and stylists? I'll start with you, Tanya. What makes you stand out from any other designer?
I just think it's just my style. I kind of mix different eras together and make it all in one.
Okay.
I don't like seeing the same thing on the runway.
Right.
I don't like seeing the same color on the runway.
Okay. Okay. I got you. And you, Miss Candy?
Okay, well, I've lost thought. What was the question? I'm sorry. I was
Okay,
so engulfed in her.
no,
I'm sorry.
No. So what make you stand out from any other stylist?
Well, simple for me. There's a difference between ordinary and extraordinary, and I'm extraordinary. So
Okay.
Like I
You
said,
hear
personality.
my sis says that she is extraordinary, and I'm gonna say that, you know what, I'm a vouch for her because she has this bubbly personality, and when you meet her, it's like you've been knowing her forever. So, you know, she rocks that. She rocks the personality.
Thank you.
I second that.
Yeah,
I love that.
You know, larger than life personality. You know. So let me ask you guys: do you guys have a preference in size when you're designing and styling? You know, You know, do you have a preference to work with smaller women, medium women, or larger women?
I like curvy women.
Okay.
It's me. It's me.
Right.
So I want somebody that I'm looking at that outfit. I'm all like, dang, I want to wear that. And that's what I do sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Once I put the outfit on somebody, you can see me somewhere else in it.
So basically, you're not just designing for other people. You design for things that you like, and you can envision yourself in it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm curvy, so therefore, yes.
Okay.
Yay to the curvy sisters.
Crazy.
And you, Miss Candy?
I don't have a preference. Now, I have to be honest. When I first started styling, I was scared to like venture off into curvy, like the plus size fashion. I don't know why. You know, I know fear is false evidence appearing real. So I was like, okay, come on, Candy. So it took me out again, went to fashion school in Atlanta, and my teacher is like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Curvy girls spend more money than the skinny girls. They want to look good too. And it was true. And then I got a chance to see my teacher, shout out to Sean Melson, see my teacher do a fashion show where she had that size 0 girl next to a girl size 22 and in the exact same outfit. I thought that was so dope. So, you know, now, I mean, I just think fashion, style is different. What I may put on a skinny girl, of course, I won't put on a curvy girl. I mean, but I don't have a fear anymore. But I did used to be afraid. Now, come on through, girl. Come on, curvy girls.
Okay, so hey, curvy girl can rock that runway too, and we are walking it. Okay.
Girl, them thick thighs save lives, girl.
Love it. So, another question. What are your goals for increasing your clientele?
I need to do more branding. You know, for me to do other brand ambassadors, sometimes I take a back seat in my own situation, you know. So for me, my goal is to do more branding.
Okay, so Miss Tanya.
My goals is to stop being hidden. I need to start coming out more. I need to start doing more events. I need to stop being afraid of that.
All right. I think that you are a hidden gem. I really do. I think that you are a hidden gem, and so this is going to give you a chance for some exposure, and you style your girl. Oh yeah, you're gonna be out there. We got you.
They're not ready for you February 24th.
Okay.
Our crowd star.
And so back to you guys' business. What marketing techniques do you use to increase your clientele?
You.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes it easy. I second that.
Okay.
Because we witnessed that. We
Yeah.
were like, what?
So you're our walking model.
Okay. And you know what? And I love fashion. I love you guys' style, your design. So, hey, I will own that, okay? I will take it and own it.
Okay.
All right. So, do you have goals for yourself? And if so, what are they?
Okay.
Well, my goals is just to be a better person than I was yesterday.
Okay.
You know, sometimes I'm my worst critic. I beat myself up too much. I don't tend to step back and exhale what my accomplishments I have made. So, you know, my goals where I see myself at, I would like to have like a fashion consulting company where we go out and style. But I'm going to be honest with you, I would rather work with a lot of non-for-profit battery shelters, cancer.
Yes.
My mother died from brain aneurysm. You know, I want to do an event called Brain Candy where it's going to be a big fashion show.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got
That's
some
gonna
things
be nice.
I'm working on.
That's going to
you know.
be nice.
Yeah, so yeah.
And you, Miss Tanya?
Well, I would like for Candy to do a modeling school because there is a lot of black boys out here that want to get in that industry, but they are afraid that it may mess with their sexuality.
Right.
don't want to get made fun of
Right.
just because of that. But there are some, like my son.
My son,
He,
too.
yeah.
He wants to be into it, but I want him to put, you know, his education first and, you know, modeling secondary.
And we have a model that's like that. She in law school.
Okay.
She's in law school,
Yeah.
and she used her modeling. It was like a side job.
Yeah.
A lot of them just treat it like they're just side
And
jobs.
that's what I
Yeah.
want him. I don't want him to have that focus, mainly because I do want him to get his education.
Because it is a tough industry.
Because it is. And
Yeah.
so, therefore, you know, I'm not going to discourage him from it, but I do want him to understand that this is, it has to take secondary from getting his education. And if, you know, he goes on to be bigger, at least he still have an education as well. So.
And I think by them being around each other as young men, whatever issue that they are going through, they have each other like a brotherhood.
Like a brotherhood.
Like a
yeah.
brotherhood. But it's just, I don't see that out here in California.
I
at
would
all.
want them. That is something that you should look into, because you don't have a black male modeling school.
Yes.
And I get
Okay.
told that often. Like,
Yes.
that's why she said that, try to put me on the spot here, because I have a lot of models and parents, unsigned models, that come to me like, hey, you ever thought about, you know, being an agent or opening up a school and da-da-da, you know? So who knows what God carries me.
You know what?
I
God
don't
may
know.
carry you, you know, let God guide you, you know, your footsteps. So, you know, who know, I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing. So, and God has led me to what I'm doing currently. So,
Okay.
I think that you'll be awesome at it, you know.
Yeah, she would.
Yeah.
She would.
Yeah.
And I can have a
Get some
part-time job.
investors. Yeah, get us some investors.
My part-time job.
Okay, so what person has had the most influence on you know, your life, on you in your life?
I would have to say, for me, it was my grandmother that raised me.
Okay.
You know, to be honest, it was my grandmother that had the
Alright.
most influence on me.
And you, Tanya?
I was lucky enough to have my great-grandmother
Mm-hmm.
in my life, and she helped to raise me.
Okay.
And she was a breast cancer. She died from, it moved on to ovarian cervix cancer.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't catch the breast cancer in time, and it just spread all over her body.
Okay.
So
but it started out from breast
It
cancer.
started off in breast cancer. She died like around this time.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, rest in heaven to your. I know that she was beautiful. Your beautiful great grandmother. And so I'm trying to get all my questions out that, you know, I know that, you know, our audience are, you know, dying to know. So give our audience 3 tips you suggest for fashions.
One of the tips, every lady should have one black dress in their closet.
Okay. And you, Miss Tanya?
Oh, I thought you was gonna get 3.
Oh, no.
The other 2 y'all gotta pay for. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Miss Tanya.
Bring out your personality and what you wear.
Okay.
That's something you can never go wrong with. If you don't want to feel uncomfortable in something,
Okay.
you want to step out and say, damn, I look good.
Uh-oh.
Damn, I look good.
Okay, and the third?
I'll say a third one is, you know, always invest in one classic piece of clothing.
Okay.
I don't care if it's that handbag or that pair of shoes, or if you always have a classic piece in your closet, it'll never go out of style. Trust me.
And I have to second that. Okay, the next question is, what recommendations do you have for our audience who are thinking about becoming a designer and a stylist?
Like my teacher told me in fashion school, out of 100%, 20% may make it. You know, it is tough. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat it. You know, this time I called Tanya late at night crying. You know, people don't see that. They just see all the, you know, glamorous side of it all, but it's a lot of work. You know, I'm like that rapper that sell his CDs out of his trunk. You know, that's me right now. You know, like you know, I don't have that rich friend who giving me money. I don't have the rich boyfriends and, you know, anything like that. So everything I do is solely off my money. You know, solely. So for me, I follow my passion. I figure money gonna come if I follow what I love.
Exactly, it sure will. And you, Miss Tanya?
I didn't. School was a struggle for me at time to go, so it's kind of hard for me to tell a person that's wanting to be a designer to start and go to school. I mean, I had kids at a young age, and I had to put things aside. And I just got back in the business in '09.
Okay.
I went to fashion school straight out of high school. So, and I just couldn't survive because I ended up being pregnant at 19. So,
okay.
So I had to let that go. I meet people like you, Wendy, and like Candy that inspire me to keep on moving it on.
Okay.
And seeing what you guys go through, you're dropping knowledge to me.
Okay.
Every little thing that you do.
Well, I appreciate it, you know, and, you know, I always try to be inspiration to anyone that I meet. We're going to dive into our announcement. Our first announcement is our monthly community outreach, Good Health Equal Long Life. It occurs every third Wednesday of the month at the Bit Locks at 1655 Euclid Avenue here in San Diego, 92105. The next event is on Wednesday, February 21st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We hope to see you there. And we're doing the free state-of-the-art free mammograms, and that starts at 12 o'clock. So from 12 to 6, we'll be giving out those free state-of-the-art mammograms. And we have several partnerships. So we have dental screening. We have, we have so many partners. We're going to be doing blood pressure screening, diabetes screening, and we really need the community support for us to continue to bring these expensive mobiles here out in the community to service the underserved. And my next big event is my very first, and I say my very first fashion show, mixing it in with education and music. So join Coleman San Diego Circle of Promise Free Fashion Show and Breast Health Luncheon February 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the AMN Healthcare, and that address is 12400 High Bluff Drive, San Diego 92130. Fashions from our very best here in San Diego, and that is Tanya Jenkins, the designer and owner of the Naish and Miss Candy. I done lost my place.
On a Cotton Candy Co.
All right.
Do that style versus that fashion, girl.
Okay, and we will have our our music sensations, our harpists Maria Antoinette and Ken Turner, and our very own Dr. Suzanne Afalo will discuss how breast cancer affects African American women. Deborah Gibson Porty will discuss fitness and health. And did I mention that this event is fire hot? And did I mention that it is free? So we are close to the closing of our show. You have been listening to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health radio program on KBLK Radio, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I'm your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate. Our co-host, Dr. Suzanne Afalo, she had to leave to go and speak at UCSD. Our special guest, Today we're Tanya Jenkins, designer and owner of Niche, and Aquanette Macon, stylist and owner of Cotton Candy and Company. And our topic today is Coleman San Diego, Circle of Promise, Many Shades of Pink fashion show and breast health luncheon. Thank you guys for being here, and you have been listening to the Many Shades of Pink, and tune in to us every Sunday at 2 p.m. For more information on breast cancer, visit Coleman San Diego Circle of Promise website at www.colemansandiego.org. Learn about A Healthier Me, a lifestyle change at A Healthier Me. And Facebook, thank you so much. Bye-bye.